Education is what differentiates us from other living beings on earth. It makes the smartest creature on earth and it empowers humans and gets them ready to face challenges of life efficiently. Education certainly determines the quality of the individual life. Education improves one's knowledge, skill, and develops the personality and attitude. Today, as a part of Leadership Series, we bring an enthusiastic academician, Vineetha G. Nair. So, to talk about Vineetha, Vineetha is a principal of Alfeen Public School, Kanjirapalia, Kottayam, Kerala. She has completed post-graduation in chemistry and applied psychology. She is an enthusiastic academician for the past 22 years, and she is passionate about achieving UN Sustainable Development Goals by educating children and instrumental in developing a personalized curriculum for the students. She is a teacher, trainer, and a mentor. She is expertise in student counseling and guidance. She is also a co-founder of secretary and non-profit organization Christ Kottayam for training teachers and supporting underprivileged children. Thank you, Vineetha ma'am, for joining us today. And I'm sure your words of wisdom will be useful for all our listeners today.
Good morning, Sujatha, and thank you so much for the nice introduction that you've given me. And thank you so very much for beginning the day with you.
Amazing, ma'am. We are happy to have you, ma'am. So, ma'am, I was giving you an introduction, and you have already have 22 years of experience with being an academician. So, we would like to hear your journey. That how did you get started your journey as an academician today?
Well, if you ask me about my journey to be an academician, I would rather say that it was not at all planned, for sure. It happened by chance, and I would rather say that this profession chose me.
Wow.
It was really amazing and a kind of enthusiastic journey. And I was excellent at every stage of my studies, and I'm indebted to my parents for that. They strived so hard to make me determined and hardworking. They gave more importance to my education than anything else.
Wow.
And my father instilled the habit of reading in me, and even now, that keeps me motivated and think differently. He realized that he was the one who realized that I have very good skill in teaching from my interactions with other children. And to be frank, I never liked the B.Ed course for teacher education because the textbooks were telling us about active learning strategies, but I never found that being used in the B.Ed classrooms. I found students chasing teachers to impress them for getting internal marks, and I was very poor in that. Even I thought of discontinuing the studies in between the course, B.Ed course. But somehow I reached up to the teaching practice. And the moment I started my teaching practice, I simply loved it. I got a batch of students who were so poor, they were slow learners. They were simply following the instructions and not showing any improvement in their academics. I started taking lessons. I involved them into many activities. And slowly, I could see those children showing interest into their studies. I observed the kind of growth children showed during the 1 month I practiced, especially the ones who were the backbenchers, the below average ones. And on the final day, I got a few personal letters from them.
Wow.
There were a lot of spelling mistakes, but they opened their heart to me. And believe me, even now, I consider those letters as my first award. And if you ask me about my journey, I can say that it was at that moment I understood that this is a profession where I can be creative and innovative. And I started off as a postgraduate teacher in chemistry for the senior classes. And I was the coordinator for many curricular and co-curricular activities. From that, I became the subject head in science, a member of the interview board, coordinator for affiliation and accreditation, assistant to principal, and finally to the principal of Alpine Public School. The very slow but steady journey.
Wow, wow. I must say, ma'am, that you have such an inspiring journey. And trust me, the kind of support your dad has given to you to push you, that was really amazing, right? So, super happy, super inspired by you, ma'am. And I'm sure that our listeners have got some push to kickstart their journey. It's okay to go slow, it's okay to fail, but it's not okay to give up, right? So, I'm super happy again. So, ma'am, like you mentioned about your journey, that this is how you got started, and that was inspiring. So, what was your why to choose this career, as in to choose academician as a career?
When I was a child, I looked for people who can be a role model, but I found such people very rarely, to be frank. I used to get bored very easily with the lectures and normal classrooms, and I always tried to connect what I have to learn with real life situations. And I always wondered why learning was so boring. Something which I couldn't tolerate was partiality. The people who need to be great influencers in our life fails many a times. Because of all these, I never wanted to be a teacher. But the moment I chose this profession, I decided to be one among those rare facilitators who can inspire the students as well as teachers. And when I became a chemistry teacher, I could experiment many innovative strategies like storytelling pedagogy, role plays, cartooning, surveys, projects, etc. And it was amazing to see children coming up with creative ideas. They started loving chemistry. And there were a lot of challenges. But I accepted those challenges, and those helped me to mold my life into a better individual. The only thing we have to do is giving children the plot to work, facilitate them throughout, appreciate them, give value to their thoughts and suggestions, and help them to develop a vision. Children will do wonders. When I became principal, I could implement most of those innovative teaching methodologies in the school, like art integration, experiential learning, project-based learning. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals are integrated into the curriculum, and children are getting opportunities to present themselves even in international platforms.
Wow. That was really inspiring again, ma'am. That is a strong why. And when you connect yourself with a children, it is amazing. It is amazing, and things becomes more easy to go ahead with. Thank you so much again for sharing that, ma'am. So, ma'am, once you started your journey in this career as an academician, so we all, whenever we get started with any of the thing, we all have lot of self doubts before we choose anything, right? So once you started this career, you had any kind of self doubt that, okay, will I be able to do it? Is it my cup of tea? Did you have any kind of self doubt like that?
After choosing my career into my heart and soul, I have never been doubtful because
Wow.
my family taught me to dream big and attempt the impossible. And that helped me to have a very clear vision and mission. And that vision has brought me to this position to be the principal of Alpine Public School, where I get my space to think, to act, and to lead the school. The management has given me a free hand, and the wonderful vision of Alfine aligned with my vision keeps me inspired throughout the journey. My supportive family is the driving force, of course, for every achievement. They dedicated their time and energy for keeping me focused in my professional journey. Life has never been smooth, but that gave me the vigor to stand straight and move confidently. I believe in doing the best, keeping a benchmark for myself at every stage, and extend my wings ahead of it without trying to impress or catch anyone's attention.
Wow, ma'am. That's really nice. Now, ma'am, like you mentioned that there was no self doubt again, and you mentioned one more good thing, that is having a vision is important, and once your vision is aligned with what you're doing, it becomes more easy and there is no question of having a self doubt. So really inspiring, and that was something that I will be remembering forever. So ma'am, one more thing, that there are a lot of women who are having a lot of restrictions whenever they want to choose their career, and they settle for less. They settle for less, that okay, this is not happening, I have this to handle, I have that to handle, I have responsibilities. So choosing a career, being a woman, is not easy. So being a woman, you yourself, there any kind of restrictions or hurdles that came your way, the problems, the challenges that came your way, and how were you able to tackle them?
Sujatha, to be frank, I always feel that where there is a will, there is a way. If you are so passionate about something, if you dream for it, every hurdle will change into opportunities.
Wow.
Our society always definitely bring in a lot of restrictions to women. And society cannot do anything to uplift a woman unless and until she wants to chase her dreams. I'm a person who always keep a growth mindset in my thoughts, in my words, and in my actions. And maybe that brings in a lot of positivity in me. And the challenges gave me the thrust to learn and move forward, and strength to overcome every bit of difficulty. And just believe in yourself, stay focused, and success will follow. That's what I have to tell you.
That is, again, it's going to inspire a lot of women who is watching this one point that you mentioned that I really liked is that nothing can stop us, that is, unless and until we chase our dreams, nobody can stop us. And that's what I really loved. And I would also like to know from you, ma'am, what motivates you to be you?
Okay. What motivates me is definitely the innocence I see in the eyes of the children of my school. And they look up to us and expect a lot from us. It reminds me every day that I have chosen a very noble profession.
Wow.
And I am here to build and mold a generation, a society. And it makes me humble. And I thank God for guiding me in the right path. And what keeps me motivated even now after 22 years is my passion, my commitment, and enthusiasm towards teaching. And I have a wonderful team of dedicated teachers in my school, in my Alfine, who work with me in the same pace. And I'm really blessed because of that. Many classroom environments, if you look at it, it favor a certain kind of thinker. Usually, the students who are quick to recall a fact when the teacher asks a question. We always appreciate such children. But that is not the only type of mind. And it is not even always the best kind of mind for learning. Research has shown that shy learners, the ones who sit at the back, and they don't really say anything, They can be slow learners, but they are actually the most flexible and they can be the most creative problem solvers. This is from my experience, my personal experience. And this insight always keeps me motivated.
Wow. That was really nice. And that is something that is now pushing me, that is motivating me. Like, I really loved one more thing, because I being a backbencher most of the time. So here, the one thing, being you as a principal from last 22 years, shy learners, like you mentioned, that they are most flexible and creative solvers. So that's one thing I really loved it. And people who are watching today, if you are a shy learner, don't worry about anything. You have something in you and you can do wonders together. So even this is for parents. Again, parents, they think that, okay, my kid is very shy, he is sitting, he is behind, but there is something in him as well. But parents, they don't think. Parents, they say, okay, see that opposite person, the neighbor's kids are good than you, but we need to find the potential of our own children. That's one thing that I really loved it, ma'am. So what is that one best piece of advice that you have ever received till now in your journey?
I've received a lot of advices, but I would always consider one as the best. Accept people as they are, accept situation as it is. I'm a person who gives too much importance to integrity. I cannot be one person in one situation and another person in a different situation. So many times I expect the same from others by default, which doesn't happen. Being in a leadership position, we have to deal with people or situations who are entirely different from our value systems. In the beginning, I used to struggle emotionally in such situations. It was difficult for me to accept such people. But now I have learned to overcome that. To be an effective leader, you need to be calm and composed at all times. There will be different kind of people around us. In spite of these differences, we have to keep all of them along with us. Moreover, I live in the present moment and is always positive at every situation, good or bad. And I think this thought has brought in all good virtues into my life.
Wow. And this is going to be the best advice for all of us again. Number one, accept the person, whoever, however they are. And number two, being a leader, you have to be more calm and composed. And that's where the way of success is. And always live in the present moment, enjoy the present moment. And that's what I learned today from you. And I'm sure our viewers has got a best advice till now again. So, ma'am, one last message that you want to share with all our listeners today.
This is an era of information overload. Here, when we look for educators, we are not looking for subject experts because information is available in any form, anywhere. Gone are the days of rote learning and memorization. Children are born in technology and are ahead of us. We need teachers who can inspire, who can help children to process this information. When she enters the class, she should be able to create a wow feeling in children. And children should feel that my teacher is the boss. We don't need the ones who can just deliver information. Information is available everywhere. So teachers need to be creative and innovative to inspire children, or else artificial intelligence will take over the teaching fraternity. All those teachers who are traditional, who are not creative and innovative, will extend soon. So start thinking, start updating, and start innovating if you want to exist as a teacher.
Wow. That can be the best advice for any listeners who are listening to us, especially teachers. That is, you need to create a wow feeling in children's, and being a creative, being innovative is something we look for every time. We want something innovative, and if we as a teacher we put in this, inculcate this in ourselves, then it becomes more easy. So thank you so much for sharing your words of wisdom, ma'am. It was such an insightful conversation. Our listeners are going to definitely get inspired by your journey, the kind of advices that you have given. I'm sure they are going to love this episode of ours. And thank you so much for again being here as a guest. It was our honor to have you on Global TV. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Sujatha. And it has been a wonderful time with you. You're a very vibrant girl, I must say that, and so enthusiastic, so inspiring to, no doubt, you've crossed so much stages and have become a very successful person. And I think that vibe helped us throughout the session.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm extremely thankful to the entire crew of Global TV for choosing me to share my story, being a woman who is successful in the leadership role. I am thankful to Mr. Paul, the chairman of Global TV, because he has always extended his help for giving a platform for our children of Alpine Public School to present. So thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was pleasure having you, and looking forward for more such insightful conversation with you. Thank you.
Thank you.